Matthew 15:35. Kai perangelas to achlo anapezain epitain gain, ... Here, Jesus in the crowd, the famished crowd, and he has only 7 loaves of bread and a few fish, and we read, and we could do this participle as either temporal or attendant circumstance. I'm going to do it temporal for now. And after he commanded the crowd to recline upon the earth, and if you look to the next verse, you'll see it continues, he took the 7 loaves and the fishies. It is interesting that the non-diminutive form is used here, and sometimes diminutive forms can lose that diminutive sense as they're used so commonly. So it makes one wonder, or perhaps here it's just being the author is being less specific. We know that the fish are small, and so he can just refer to them with a regular word for fish. Well, let's go back here to perangelos. And hopefully you know the word perangelo, to command, to give orders to, perangelo. And when we write that out, we see, the original form here had 2 gammas and 2 lambdas. And don't forget, when you have 2 gammas together, it makes a sound. Where did we lose a lambda? And how did this stem vowel lengthen to this diphthong? Oh yeah, what we have here is a liquid verb. Remember, learn more nonsense rules. When you have these consonants, you cannot have a sigma come up next to them. The sigma is rejected. Greek is like a seesaw. If something goes down, something else has to go up. To compensate for the loss of the sigma, the stem vowel lengthens to an A. It's also very common with liquid verbs. If you have 2 lambdas, you'll lose 1 lambda outside the present tense. So all that is alerting us that we have an aorist here, and that we don't have a sigma as we would like, but we still do have our alpha there. This is an aorist active participle, nominative masculine singular, describing Jesus. And I did it temporally. After he commanded the crowd, gave orders to the crowd, and then when you have a verb that communicates speech of some kind, and then you have an infinitive, that infinitive is almost always expressing indirect discourse. It's expressing indirect discourse. In other words, it's not reporting in quotation marks what is happening. It's not saying Jesus commanded, recline upon the earth, but it's reporting, he said that the crowd should do this. He commanded, he gave orders to the crowd to recline in the sense of the posture of eating in the first century. And this is from the verb anapipto. Anapipto is the present tense form. And you can see that spelling change in the stem. Oh, this is building on the second aorist stem. Second aorist stems use present infinitive endings, so this is an aorist active infinitive, again, used to express indirect discourse after a verb communicating speech. So, and after he gave orders to the crowd, commanded the crowd to recline upon the earth, ...